So why are we actually here? And I say we because normally I do it, and my friend Mohsin, who also runs Islamic Finance Guru, he normally does this with me. But why do we do this? Why do we take our time out to do this? Well, the reason why we do this is because we think it is our responsibility to maximize the impact that we have on all of society. And that's a responsibility not just upon me, it is a responsibility upon all of us. And a key way of us making sure that we have the maximum impact is by empowering others to have the maximum impact that they can. So that's the first thing. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he says that the Muslimin are kajasadin wahid. They are like one body. إِذَا اشْتَكَى مِنْهُ عُدْوٌ تَدَاعَ لَهُ سَائِرُ الْجَسَدِ بِالسَّهْرِ وَالْهُمَّةِ. If one portion of the body, if like a hand of the body hurts, then the rest of the body aches and feels that pain. So we have a responsibility for our brothers and sisters. We have a responsibility for the wider community as to how we can eke out the absolute maximum benefit that we can from them. And you guys at LSE and other Russell Group universities have a very, very important and significant and pivotal role to play, and you need to be aware of that. And that's not to say that you're special or I'm special. You know, every single person can get to Jannah. That's the ultimate end point. But given the specific talents that you have, it's particularly important for you to fulfill the the potential that you have, because it is not necessarily the same potential that is available to other people to fulfill. So if you don't step up, it won't get done. Whereas if someone with less ability doesn't step up, then the likelihood is that it may well still get done. So that's the first thing. The second thing is obviously, talent. We don't want that to go to waste. It's the same principle really. And then finally, you guys at LSE have a real strong culture of going into the city, going into the financial world. And that's fine. And I was at Oxford, and there's a fairly strong culture there as well. There is also a culture of going into lots of corporate kind of jobs, civil service, fairly respectable, well-paying professions. But isn't it a travesty if we have this dichotomy between our professional life and our personal life? And we in our professional life are just Muslim really in name and nothing else. And in our personal life, we are out on the streets giving da'wah and debating with people on Hyde Park Corner or whatever your thing is. And yet on the Monday morning, you're in a suit and you're sat at work and you're having cream cheese and salmon, and it's just a completely different approach to life. What I'm getting at is that if you are approaching your life holistically, and if you are a Muslim through and through, then actually when you go into work and live as a Muslim properly and according to the real spirit of Islam, then that is actually much stronger da'wah than you could give outside on the streets or on these debating platforms or wherever you might be giving da'wah out and about. And if you think about it, the people that we know, the people that bring Islam to the community, are either people that we have personally interacted with, so non-Muslims know about Islam through personal interactions, or because of famous figures like Mo Farah, Mo Salah, etc., etc., etc. And so we can fulfill that first bit of it, where we have that strong personal relationship with people, but that only comes when Islam is actually part of your professional identity. So this is also part of why I'm here today, which is that you can be a Muslim and you can be a professional, and there is actually a really strong way how to integrate both of those two things together, because otherwise it's meaningless. It really is meaningless. I'm going through a fairly busy spell at work, and that means midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. sometimes, weekend work. And that will happen to people who go into the city at certain times. But if it's not for a purpose, and I'll talk about my purpose in the next few slides, if it's not for a purpose, then really there is a strong chance of A, burnout, and B, it's really meaningless. I mean, why would you be doing that and sacrificing spending time with your family, with your kids? I have a son who's 13, 14 months. Why would you do that otherwise?